for Hair Couture for about 15 years. I've headed up their education department, been all over the country, training for them, mainly fusion extensions or whatnot. About 15 years ago, we came out with a line of top pieces for women. Really started addressing the needs for thinning and balding hair with our women. We've always been really focused on women. Toupees were kind of a thing more left in like Europe, China, Asia. It's been crazy over there for years and years and years. It's crept into the East Coast. Now we're really starting to see it now on the West Coast. So with all of our experience with extensions and top pieces, it was only natural for us to take our knowledge, take our experience, and bring it on over to the Toupee line. We've been educating for over 20 years, so that's something that we take pride in, because anytime any of our education classes, you don't leave until you feel confident and secure enough to go ahead and launch this into your salon and into your business. I think the most important thing about toupees coming into the industry right now is finally a way for barbers to add a service to their menu that can really up their game as far as income goes. There's not a lot of things out there. You can't charge much more for shades. You can't charge much more for other services. So this is going to be a huge game changer for barbers, and that's why we're here. We're here to make connections with barbers, to create relationships with barbers, because we don't want to just bring you in, teach you, and send you on your way. We're looking to really build partnerships with you and to build a future with you and help you really get those next steps going. It's useless for me to teach a class and then just send you on your way without really having a plan to put it out there and to really start incorporating it into business like tomorrow. So we've been working on things for months now, and it's not only just the education, the technical aspect of it, but it's also the business building and marketing and branding that you need to really get it going and start it as increased revenue in your salon. A little background about the company. Like I said, we've been around for about 20 years. We are the leading company in fusion hair extensions. We offer all different types of hair extensions, as simple as synthetic ponytails, all the way to top pieces, toupees, and every type of fusion extension in between. Over the years, we've been able to develop multiple lines to meet different price points. The cornerstone of Hair Couture has always been to be affordable with comfortable wear and integrity in the hair. And we don't put out a product or a new service until we have absolutely mastered all of those three things: comfort, wearability, and price. We understand that there's all different prices, and especially in the economy today, I'm going to see, that's why toupees are going to, that's not going to be something that's going to be taken out of a man's budget. It's just not. Once they start wearing it, they're going to be hooked. It's something that they can't really live without. So, a lot of services are going to kind of start taking a step back if the economy changes or whatnot, but hair toupees are always going to remain. Going back to expanding your services and your business and your service menu, there's only a few ways to make more money as a barber or a hairstylist. Now, I'm a hairstylist, been a hairstylist for 20 years, and we have a lot more opportunities: balayages, hair extensions. We have other Brazilian blowouts. There's been so many things that have come in our industry that have allowed us to offer these services to make a ton of money. What has happened with barbers? The only thing great that happened to barbers is COVID. Everyone realized how important their barber was, because I swear I have seen barber prices go from 15 to 20 to average 30 to 40. It's incredible what it's done for your industry, because you know what? They know they live without you, and they don't ever want to go through that again. And I mean, I know barbers that were charging $150, $200 during COVID. It was insane. And they were smart to kind of keep the prices higher, because they realized guys are going to pay it, and they're going to line up to pay it. So obviously it's not COVID anymore. This is a great opportunity to bring something into your business that's going to really generate revenue right away. A lot of people, one big reason why we're here today too is because of a lot of students that are in the area and at the show. They're all looking for a way to set themselves apart. You're coming into an industry that already has thousands and thousands of barbers behind you, all trying to build clientele, all trying to do the same thing over and over. When you get into this industry, you're really going to need something to give you an edge. You're going to walk into a barbershop and you can't just offer a good fade or this or that. You really need something that's going to give you an edge. There's a lot of barbers that have been in the industry for years and years and years, and they're not interested in doing toupees. I get it. I'm a hairstylist. There's tons of hairstylists that aren't interested in doing extensions or this. they get very niche and what they like to do, they can do it, they have a rhythm, and they're fine with that. You meet a barber in a barbershop that could supply this, you now have an entire barbershop full of men that will give you referrals. You know, you work out something with your fellow barbers, and they send you referrals. If you're a barbershop owner, you get certified, and you can be making money off of this through people that you get certified. There's a lot of ways to make money, and then even passive income if you're a barbershop owner or whatnot. In our classes, one thing that we really like to focus on, which really differentiates us from the rest, is the fact that we are trying to grow your business. There's a huge business and marketing aspect in our certification courses. Yes, ma'am.
Can we close the door?
Yeah,
We can barely hear
that. Anyway, so what I learned very quickly years and years and years ago as I was teaching these classes, stylists and barbers are very talented. It doesn't take very long to pick up the techniques needed to be able to do the service, because we have the foundation of styling and working with clients. So I like to focus a lot on the extras to really fine tune that craft, because getting the actual service down as far as technicalities go, super simple. So I like to spend a lot of time with the students or whatnot on how are we going to take this back to the salon, and we're going to launch it. We're going to really make something of it. I've been to millions of classes, and I get excited about things, and then I get back, and then I'm like, okay, well, I gotta make cards, I gotta do this, how am I gonna promote it, whatnot. And we do offer a strong aspect of that in our certification courses, so that it's going to allow you to use our marketing material, our platforms, and our tools, so that you can launch it right away, either with your fellow barbers on Instagram or just word of mouth. I'll show you a little bit about what comes as far as in the kit that you'll receive for certification. But we really just want to thank you for being here today. We understand that investing in your career sometimes is very difficult, and everyone's struggling right now. And it's not difficult, and we want to see you guys spend your money in the best way possible and get the most out of your education. Like I said, I'm also a hairstylist, and I know how it is to invest in something and then just learn that. I was just attending a product knowledge class for the last 8 hours, and that's not what we want to equip you with today. We want to equip you with everything that you need for that. And there's also a big difference. Why? Because we've been seeing everyone coming out of the woodwork trying to teach this class. What I've seen mostly with those, they're just someone that knows how to do it. They've gone to a certification class themselves, they get comfortable with it, and then they start doing their own training classes. And that's fine. They may be able to teach you a lot of really good techniques, maybe a lot that you didn't know, and you'll pick up some things, sure. And then a lot of these barbers go ahead and try to supply the hair for you. At that point, these barbers and these people trying to instruct you have no ties with any company, no real partnership with anybody, and that's what the difference is here. Because when you get the certifications here and whatnot, you're now exclusive, and so you're going to be getting exclusive pricing and exclusive access to the top pieces. We're not trying to sell these to everyone. We're trying to sell these to people that understand the importance of high quality that you're bringing to your clients, and that's the most important thing that really sets us all apart. So in the class, you're going to get everything you need. A lot of really important aspects of this service is the measuring, and also trying to really understand what piece is going to be best for your client based on their lifestyle, and also some other factors that play into like oiliness and coverage options or whatnot. So we've been able to create toupees that are going to have multiple ways of wearing depending on what's comfortable for the client. We have like tape in, clip in, and then complete glue on. You'll be certified to do each, and you'll also understand the reasoning and be able to decide which method is going to be best for them based on their lifestyle and head shape even, and all of that. So actually that's the most important thing. Another really important thing is color, choosing the right color. We've been able to get a really beautiful color line with a lot of mixed grays in there, different variations on every level of colors. We have dark brown, medium brown, and light browns, and all those colors also come with a nice mix of grays, whether it be very small percentage or higher percentage, because the biggest issue with this and being able to sell to a client is comfortability and And it's gonna have to blend really well. It's gotta be seamless. If the men don't feel comfortable wearing it, they're not gonna wear it. They're not gonna wear it. So the more that we can customize it, the more that we can get just that right perfect color, the more that we can just get it just right. And that goes beyond just learning how to, glue it on. Also cutting it, trimming it, styling it, and finding the best piece to transition them with different hair densities. We don't want to go from fine hair to an afro on top. We really got to kind of transition and find something that's really natural. These today, a lot of these have a ton of density on the hair. We brought these in today just to really show you the different base types, the different textures that'll come in, different gray patterns that'll come in, just so that you know that we're launching something that's going to be right for everybody. In the kit, you find everything that you're going to need to make the templates, to protect the scalp, to choose the right colors and patterns, and then all the different application types that your client may need. So, like I said, the first part of the class is really going to help you identify the proper piece and technique for the client. And going with that is going to be the base, the length, the texture, and the color. And then preparation is everything. Without a proper foundation, without a proper canvas, all the next steps aren't going to make a difference. If we don't prep that hair correctly and get the right size and trim it just properly, then we're going to run into issues down the line of lifting and stuff like that. So we're really going to go over a lot of preparation. Obviously, the installation. We're going to be going over installation again and again and again until you feel 100% comfortable. Take this back tomorrow and to start to apply it. It is very simple. It really can be very simple once you really learn the foundations and the important variables that come into installation. It's really easy. After that, it's cake. It could be very intimidating at first, but we'll make sure that you get comfortable enough to where you're going to be able to go ahead and do it right there. And then a whole other thing you got to learn here is maintenance. They're going to be coming in once a month for their hair topper piece, 1 month to 6 weeks. So with that, there's a whole other program that goes along with that, removing it, treating their scalp, making sure it's prepped, also looking for any kind of areas of tension or any kind of rashes or sensitivities to the scalp, and then the way you can adjust their adhesives or maybe their application method upon there if you realize that maybe he's getting some irritation or something like that. These are all little things that we need to kind of go over again, that it'll come up in certain situations. So we'll make you very comfortable like troubleshooting and how to resolve certain situations based on what you see back in the shop. As I was kind of basing it, we've been doing a ton of market research. I'm very blessed to know a ton of barbers. I work with a ton of them. I don't cut a lot of men's hair at all. We have an amazing barber in the salon that we like to refer all that to. So after doing extensions for so long, I went out there and I really wanted to see how this was going to affect barbers, especially close friends of mine. So I sat down with everyone. I got averages. I got all these types of things. How can we make this make more money for you? How are ways to do that? When you look at it, average haircut, $30. You're gonna make about $350 off of that client a year, minus tips. And those are your regular clients every 4 weeks. By transitioning them to being a top piece client, you're gonna make that $360 because you're still gonna be cutting their hair, but now you're adding another $100 to $150 or appointment to redo their top piece. That turns a client into a $1,500, $1,600 client every year. So, I mean, just adding one already gives you a substantial increase just with the one client right there. So, I mean, do the math and you can imagine how many people. We all see this issue in barbershops, even in salons. I've been doing the top pieces for my women clients for years and years. With men, they get to a point where they're just like, why am I paying this? I'm gonna shave it. I've seen a ton of that. They just start shaving it. And they don't want to, maybe they have a funky head shape, it's a whole thing. This is really their solution instead of that. So rather than losing a client to baldness because they're just shaving now you've got them, you've built their confidence and you have kept your client. Like I said, a lot of these barbers don't want to do this type of service. So teaming up with barbers in your salon or barbershop to refer people to you is also an amazing way that you're going to build your clientele. They're going to be happy to give you, send their clients over for you to do this because it helps them keep a client rather than, again, just shaving their head. So, we understand, I'm sure most of you have seen a lot of this on Instagram. It's popping up everywhere. So what is it about this type of service or these type of pieces that maybe intimidate you on trying to incorporate into your business now? Has anyone tried to incorporate it or had any issues? No? So I think it's just really lack of knowledge about the different bases and lengths and textures or whatnot that really kind of have to get over to understand how easy it is and how needed it is. A lot of these pieces, like I said, they come with 3 different bases. We have a complete French lace, which isn't usually the most popular, but it is very popular with men that still do have some hair that are trying to hope that the last of their hair isn't coming out. This is a little bit more breathable of a base, and it has some options where you can put clip-ins or just tape and leave the rest of it pretty breathable so that the scalp can still breathe. And again, all of these pieces are very large. We've only really brought the large ones in, but there's going to be a variety of different base options and different patterns just to match patterns that where men are beginning to bald. So they don't have to wear a piece this big. We're going to go ahead and customize it.
When you say breathable, that means that no adhesive or anything goes on there, right?
Well, this one you could either do clips or tape. So the tape will be like a temporary hold. If they take really good care of it, it can be a strong lasting hold for quite some time, but they have the option to remove it a little bit easier rather than putting the adhesive. Some people don't want the adhesive, they want to maybe take it off on the weekends and they want to do that, or maybe with their lifestyle, a lot of sweat, a lot of stuff like that, construction, then maybe the French lace option might be a good option. But what's really popular is like the hybrid. And the hybrid is a combination of French lace and also skin type. So you can get a really good adhesion where the skin is, but there's still a large area that is breathable, so that it really helps to kind of keep that going. Another reason why I like that too is, let's say odd head shapes. There's going to be some weird flat heads or whatnot, and that lace kind of gives it a little bit more give, a little bit more movement. So if there's like those wrinkles or something like that, it kind of has some movement. It's not so stuck on there. So, and those are the types of things you'll be able to identify on different scalp types, and we go over that as well. It's kind of showing you different head shapes, and when you're going to run into issues, hey, they might have an issue with, that head shape if it's really flat, either on the top or the back. That's an issue that we usually find, even in barbering as cutting men's hair. Those are all variables that you take into consideration when you're cutting the hair as well. Those are the same types of variables that you want to take in with this as well.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are those pre-made or custom made?
So these are pre-made.
Oh.
And that's what I love about it, because for so long the only option was to do a custom made. And that's an amazing option if you're able to afford it. We're talking about $2,000-$3,000 a piece to create a custom piece, and we realized that's not affordable for everyone. It's not practical, and as much as they would like to do it, that's a little bit too much of an investment. These are not custom, but they're made so well that they're very easy customizable. The difference between like these and the real custom ones is that, and we teach you how to because custom ones are an option, definitely. We're really just highlighting these ones because we know that these ones are going to be what's more affordable for the masses. But a custom top is possible, and at that point what we do is we go in there and find all the hair growth patterns, either from cowlicks, and then really get down to how they style their hair. If they have the comb over or whatnot, we're going to indicate that on the piece. It's going to get sewn in that direction, so they're going to be able to just put it on and have their hair styled or whatnot. That's a luxurious option that not a lot of men obviously can afford. But these pieces can be customizable almost as much as those pieces. Obviously you can't customize the hair growth patterns, but we can get down to the texture, and the way that they're sewn one by one will allow you to create parts and directions in exactly the way they want to go. We've always been really good about that with our top pieces, even though some of them have like bangs and things like that. Once I get these for ladies, I can create, you know, a side part, middle part, whatever I need to do. I wouldn't be able to do that with most top pieces because they're usually sewn like 3 strands to a stitch. These are 1-to-1. So it mimics a very natural part without looking, what would be the word that it looks? It just, you can just see like those dots and it doesn't look very natural. Another thing that I love about these top pieces, going back into these two, these we have made completely breathable. When a woman is wearing one of these on top of their head, you do not feel it. Over the years, we've managed to create different bases that are highly breathable. We've perfected the different materials that make it lightweight, easy to wear. So these ones have been a huge game changer for women. Most women don't want things glued on. And most women are in situations where the possibility of their hair coming back is a possibility. So having something like this that temporarily gets them through until their hair starts growing back is a game changer. And I've actually used these plenty of times on women who are growing back their hair from cancer. Wigs get too hot, they get too full. So utilizing something like this to kind of make them feel a little bit more confident up here is phenomenal, and it's much more comfortable to wear rather than a wig or anything else. They come in a ton of colors, and just like our men's line, all of the hair is 100% real Remy Chinese hair. We choose to use Chinese hair, and we always have, and for a number of reasons. Yes, most hair comes from India. There's nothing wrong with Indian hair. It's soft, it's good quality, but even getting all the way back down to the fundamentals of their culture. Indian culture is primarily vegetarian. They don't eat meat. I'm sure we all may have clients or have seen people that suffer a lot of hair loss from not eating meat, not being able to supplement it, right? So that said, Indian culture, they're also vegetarian. So they do have a little bit more issue of weaker hair because they have the lack of protein. It still colors the same, it's nice and fine. Like I said, nothing wrong with it, but Chinese hair. We all know the difference with Chinese hair. We see them walking around, it's thick, it's luxurious, it's shiny, it's strong. It's strong. And Asian hair also doesn't contain the same biology as most other ethnicities have. They are missing a very popular, but 90% of ethnicities contain 2 different types of color pigments. That's the red and the yellow, eumelanin and phaomelanin. Asians don't have phaomelanin. That's yellow. So their hair goes from dark to white much easier than any other ethnicity. So when they're able to treat the hair and get this in the factory and they want to create those beautiful platinum blondes, it's that much easier to transition Chinese hair to white than it is any other ethnicity. And what that leaves you is higher quality hair and hair that has higher integrity after it's done with that process. Because every hair gets put through the same process. So at the end of all of that, you have stronger, thicker hair in Asian hair than you would in anything else. I'm also American Board Certified Hair Colorist. I spent many years studying different ethnicities and their melanin percentages to understand different ethnicities and how much phaomelanin and eumelanin they have in their hair strand. So when I learned that this was Chinese hair, it took on a much different meaning for me. Yes, they were using it because they liked it, it was strong and all this, but I saw such a deeper reason to want to use it, and then it really drew me to it because my blonde extensions last so long on my clients. And that's how I really found this company. I was never hired by this company. I work for them. I don't really know how that happened, but it just grew very organically. I saw them at a show 17 years ago. I had started doing extensions. I realized that they were local. They're right here, Whittier, Santa Fe Springs area. So I started using their hair, and I'm very fortunate. I can just walk into their shop and get warehouse. It's not even really a shop, and get exactly what I need. And over time, I got to know the staff, I got to know the hair, and it really kind of changed my perspective on the company as a whole. So I've been able to be with them as they've developed almost every single one of their products, and I've seen how long it takes for one of these products to come into play because they wait so long to make sure that it's absolutely perfect and ready to launch at the highest quality. And another thing too is it's really important for them as well as far as price point, because although this is kind of a luxury service, it's something that people will spend money on if they find the value in it. So as long as you are able to sell not only the service, but the product as being a high quality value, they'll realize that the investment is much more reasonable and maintainable. They do come in about once a month for the service, and let's see, yeah.
What is the lifespan of?
These pieces. It'll vary upon how much they wash it, how much they use it, if they're gentle to it. Men usually are. We don't recommend that they wash it more than twice a week. It's really not necessary. But you can definitely get these to last 6 months to a year. What you're gonna find too is a lot of men purchase two, so that the other one is ready to go and they can just cycle them out as necessary. But with proper care, it can definitely last quite some time. And as it thins out a little bit too, men aren't always really bothered by that because it kind of looks, more natural anyway. But being that you're the one that's mainly taking care of it, you're the one removing it, you're the one, reapplying it, the technique in which you use for that as well, and the care you take for that is also going to make a difference. Now, if they're, crazy brushing it and a lot of products and scrubbing it a lot, of course, if they're not going to use gentle, gentle methods, it is what it is. There's a lot of, even with hair extensions, I can get my blondes to last a year. I don't sell that always, I don't say that, but I know how to take care of them, and I get at least a year out of them. And I think to me, it's really the quality of the hair. I've never seen blondes last this long. So that's really important to me.
What's the price range
For
the pieces?
the pieces, the women's piece I can do better as far as the pricing goes, because we're really trying to hone in and perfect the toupees, and so we're not quite have a price list. We definitely will be competitive, that's for darn sure. And then also becoming an exclusive barber or stylist with Hair Couture will also give you access to special pricing and stuff like that. But the hair pieces, the women's hair pieces, gosh, they come in probably 10, 15 different styles, and those are starting about $125 and going up. It all really just depends on the length and the need and all of that. So we have tiny pieces that, yeah, like I said, are very inexpensive. I think the largest, fullest one taps out at $250. No, it's not. And that one, they're about $250, $260, somewhere around there. And you get quite a bit of length. This one's full bang, and this one has a full base, so it's one of the most coverage. And we also have one similar to this without bangs. And those are all the types of things you kind of get on the consultation, understanding how they wear their hair or how they'd like to wear their hair, so that there's usually something for everyone, whether they want bangs or not, whether they want length or not, or just volume.
I have a question about the glue and the sensitivity of people's skin.
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys have different types of glue for those?
Of course. Yes, so we do have our original glue, which is Ultra Hold. It usually works well for everyone. It doesn't have too bad of a sensitivity issue, but there is a sensitive skin one as well. And there are two application methods depending on which adhesive you do choose. Just way that even if whether you use the extra hold or the sensitive hold, you're still getting that long lasting result. And there's also like scalp treatments that go with either one that are going to protect the scalp from any type of irritation. Yeah, and you'll see irritation pretty fairly on if they have like kind of itching or something like that. You maybe want to encourage them to come in, but it's not highly common for them to have too much irritation. So usually the sensitive ones aren't always necessary. How many of you guys are students? Wonderful. Yeah, that's why we love the Jazzy shows. I'm actually brought here by Jazzy. Me and Jazzy go back. I actually, Laura, loudmouth over there, me and Laura have been best friends since 6th grade. And I grew up with her. She's the one that actually got me in the industry. I used to go to all the beauty schools with her, and she really encouraged me to follow my passion in the industry when I was in junior high. So she saw that in me very early on. And so to come full circle and to be able to work with her, this is something that she's been wanting to do for a really long time. And I'm very blessed that she came to me to partner up to do it, because she knows that I've been representing one of the best hair quality lines in the industry. So when she heard I worked with Hair Couture, she's like, get us a meeting, we're doing this. And she's only wanted to work with us, and that's been a real blessing. So that will give me the opportunity to go to a lot of these schools, where they spend a few hours on some extension education and kind of like rush over it. We're going to be going to schools and being able to offer classes that you can sign up for and really get the full range. It's a good 6 to 8 hour course, a lot of hands-on training, and we can either do that at our facilities in Whittier and Santa Fe Springs, or we can go out to salons or schools to also offer this education. Yes.
What's the course cost?
Sorry?
The course?
The course.
The cost of the course.
As far as the Toupee ones go, I know that we were going to be starting that around the 900 mark, but with the information that we collect today from people that came to the show, I know that we're coming up with a special package to do the education when we're ready to launch this with you in the next couple months. So those people will be able to take advantage of kind of exclusive prices with that. Our other course that goes over the entire fusion line and top pieces is about $650, and that'll be about a 6 to 8 hour course. And with me personally, and we go over absolutely everything there is to know about hair extensions, even some of the scientific things that I went over too, because clients really appreciate when you've spent the time to educate yourself on where you're sourcing the hair. I've seen a lot of these educators come out, they took a class, and now they have 4 or 5 different sources, because not one source has been able to supply them with every different style. And that's a need that we really have always strived to have, is being a one-stop shop. So we're going to make sure to have different bases, different types, different densities, and all that to meet every need. We really strive to be everyone's one-stop shop with these. And I'm confident with our line that we've definitely done that. You can even see too, we have even Afro textured toupees that have been really popular. Those are the ones that I really started seeing first. Those are fantastic. These ones are coming with a lot of hair. So right now we have the ones that have the maximum density, even though we're going to be designing them a little bit more with different densities depending on where it is on the hair. We want to lessen the density as it comes forward to mimic a natural hairline, not having something so just full and dense right in front, which to me is kind of a giveaway that it may not be real, because realistically most men shouldn't have that type of hairline or whatnot. But so that's one of the biggest things that we go over too, is really mimicking that natural hairline. I like to a lot of times invite the men to bring in pictures of themselves younger, so I can see where their hairline was before they started beginning to thin. And then other men really just want to create their own hairline, obviously, which is fine as well. And then we also teach you as well how to create that hairline based on either an inspiration picture, or if they don't even have one, how to differentiate where exactly would be best for that client to wear the hairline to look as natural as possible.
Have you guys came up with a glue that a man will be able to get in the pool or get under the shower with?
Oh yeah, we can do it all. Yeah, with our extra hold, showering, pools, ocean, waves, surfing, sports, construction, all of that. Yeah, and that's going to be our ultra hold, which is that's all I like to use unless I have to use sensitive scalps. In the beginning sometimes too, again, I know men get very nervous. Oh my gosh, what happens if it lifts and I don't have an appointment or this or that. I create little goodie bags for them upon their first appointment. It comes with a couple little strips of tape. It even comes with a small little vial of glue if they feel like it's lifting or something like that. And honestly, they don't really ever use it, but it's really nice for them to have this little like insurance pad. Like, okay, all right, it's cool. Like I don't have to wait for an appointment or that. If God forbid anything should happen, I got some stuff to get me through. I haven't found a lot of that to be necessary, but I do like to give that to them as well. And then just really encourage them just to use like proper shampoos or conditioners. Most men are using like the 18-in-1. It's like toothpaste, body wash, face wash, like it's all in it. It's the only thing I get my son to use. So, those may not be the best options for them, but men don't go out and buy shampoo and conditioner. Like, we gotta do all this stuff for the men. They wanna do this, but they're the best, they're the most loyal, and they're gonna keep coming back and getting this done over and over again. They just need to know how.
So would you, what is the balance of the shampoo and conditioner that should be used on this product?
Like what type, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Oh, pH? Well, if you can, a lot of people don't look for pH, but definitely sulfate free. Sulfate free is mainly so much what I'm looking for because a lot of shampoos don't give you the pH. I do carry a line that actually does really pay attention to the pH. It's about 4 to 5%. And that one's great, and that's by Chemastix. I love their shampoo and conditioner. I'm not trying to sell it, but their clarifying shampoo has a very low pH, so you can actually use it almost on a daily use without worrying about stripping the hair or affecting the color. I actually sell that to my clients instead of purple shampoo because it actually keeps their blondes bright and the right tone without using any artificial pigments or anything like that. So that's one of the lines that I love to use. But anything gentle, sulfate free is always really good. But yes, a lower end pH, of course, would be important. But it's not as critical as just having just something, soft and all that. You don't have to go that far. It is real hair, so of course it's able to be damaged and it's taken care of properly. But we don't expect a lot of men to be doing a lot of heat styling and a lot of that too. So the maintenance for them, we want to keep it at a minimum. Of course, men don't want to add a whole bunch of stuff to their routine. So we try to keep it basic and simple and just very direct. So I don't like to overwhelm them with instructions. I just, hey, don't wash them more than twice a week. They're really, but don't want to brush too vigorously. There's a couple little things they need to know, but there's not that much to where it's like, oh shoot, okay, I can't do this. Like, no, you're gonna be able to do everything for that. And I think if it was too much maintenance or too difficult for them to keep up with, they're not gonna buy it. Yeah. We're very lucky because they put a lot of trust in us. They're not gonna go out and try to find their piece themselves. They're gonna buy the piece through us. And that can always be very nerve-wracking because if you buy a piece from an unknown source, you just want to hope that it lasts. With Hair Couture, I've never had that issue, and if I felt I ever did, I'd go right back to the company and they will make it right. In 18 years, I've never had to replace hair because of bad quality or anything like that. Once I had to replace the hair because it wouldn't curl for some strange reason. But I mean, it is what it is. But what they do, I just replaced it and it was all good. So yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons is not only just learning the service, but also just really learning where you're sourcing your hair and why. The more knowledge that you have about it and are able to explain to your client, the more apt they're going to be able to invest and see the value in the investment that they're making.
Or can clients purchase it, or
No.
it has to be directly with us?
And that goes for their entire line, which I love because they put out their catalogs and there's no prices. And and you go on their website and they can read all about it, look all the colors, find out all this information. Again, no pricing. So it really protects us and it allows us to be like, oh yeah, go check it out. And they're gonna see and be able to research even further if they would like to, but no, we do not sell to the end user. When you call, you have to give your name and stuff like that.
When you sell it to your clients at your cost, or how much do you double it?
That's where that really comes in. I mean, you can sell it at that cost, you can double it, you can triple it, you can do really whatever you like, depending really mainly on where you work. I mean, I could do the same job in Montebello as in Sherman Oaks and charge vastly different rates. So, I mean, marking up the hair is something like a personal choice that you want to use. Again, I don't see an issue with it at all, at least 20%. I think that's kind of like minimum 20 to 30%, and I think that's fair, especially when you're dealing with a quality piece like that. You don't have to worry about them overspending.
I think that you're a professional and you're buying a product the way we would buy like shampoo. We market that at 50% markup.
Yeah.
Minimum for something that somebody cannot get should be 50%.
Right.
Minimum.
Yeah. And I believe that as well. I do. Yeah. So whether, it's personal choice and everyone's going to go about it differently because you're going to know how to market to your clientele. You may have to have a clientele that, yes, you give it to them, you hook them. And then in, a year from now when they buy that other piece, then it's more so gone up. And maybe that's because now they realize, again, they've seen the value over time and so getting to pay for it again is not going to be an issue. But yes, you can mark it up as really as much as you like. I've seen people take pieces that were $200 and mark it up to $900. I mean,
It's hard to mark it up when you say like they go online, they can see a price, how are you gonna market it?
They can't.
But
Exactly.
because they
They
can't, that's
can't.
good.
They can't, yeah, yeah. So, I have done other certification courses, and the biggest thing that was lacking, again, is being able to learn how to make this a business, and number two, not really understanding where the hair was from or why. And those are two things that we really wanted to be clear about in our classes, just so that you're much more well-rounded. You're not just someone that learned it, you buy it from here, you buy it from there. You have a solid program that they don't need to question, and they come in and you've taken care of everything. And you can take care of everything in one place, you know, with us, and that's why we wanted to launch the partnerships. We're creating online platforms, social media sites where you're gonna be able to upload your own work and be tagged in that to really promote yourself. And a lot of other marketing material and ideas to get you going. We have so much potential to market this to other types of companies outside of salons and barbershops. We have medical hair loss facilities. We have, you know, dermatologists. They don't have the ability to offer this. They can diagnose hair loss issues, they can give you surgical options, but they're not able to actually do the toupee thing. So when we start teaming up with those types of businesses, they're gonna refer you their people because they've exhausted their options with other medical hair loss and other things like that. So this is really the only solution.
If we take your class or your course and we ended up going with it for the salon or for 1% of the salon, do you guys market us on your website of where you can get these at? People that are certified to do this through your course?
You won't be able, like a client won't be able to call and ask who is a certified, you know, person. But yes, and even if you look at their page now, they definitely promote anything that's sent to us, and they will repost it on their pages as well. Yeah, and we're developing a page just specifically for this because it'll be geared more toward men as well, because we want them to learn about the toupees. But we're really going to be marketing the toupees, but not where to get them or whatnot.
Who does it?
Yeah, or who does it. We don't really keep a register and allow people to call and referral, but take advantage of posting and reposting and all of that, you know, as much as you can. Yeah, but yeah.
Can you color the hair pieces?
Yes, so luckily, we're fortunate enough to have so many colors, especially with the men's. I doubt you'll ever have to color a men's piece, but all of our hair is 100% real hair. So it is colorable with precaution. That is something that I do go over in the class because there are some very important rules and do's and don'ts for coloring extension hair. So it is very important that you learn the right way to color it, because it's not, you know, you're creating it for a client and you want to get the best result, but all extension hair doesn't react the same to hair color rules that our natural hair on our head still does. So you will definitely see a difference if you try to color any extension hair, and we kind of educate you on how and why that is and how to kind of get around that and customize extensions for your needs. But usually 9 times out of 10, right out of the package, they're like the perfect color. I love it. Even ombre styles, you know, I have like 5 tones of blonde in my hair, and it still manages to, you know, blend in really nicely, and I don't have to worry about it at all. I have very thin hair, so the fact that it works in so seamlessly and I don't have to worry about it was a huge game changer. Huge game changer for me. I've been wearing extensions for years. I've never noticed any kind of tension or hair loss or anything like that, so it's really allowed me to comfortably sell this service, whether it be the fusion extensions or top pieces, depending on their need. Hair extensions don't damage your hair. The improper technique does. And that's what I try to sell to people, because it's very hard to sell extensions to someone that's had a bad experience. And a lot of people, yeah.
No, I'll let you finish.
No, I mean, a lot of people have just had horrible experiences, and it's because that stylist only got education in one technique. They took a weft class, so I offer wefts. And they're not gonna talk to you about tape or anything else because they only know wefts. And So that's a huge issue, and it's really hard to have someone come in and I can assure them that tape-in isn't gonna do the same thing, or I-tip, or the way I install it isn't gonna do the wrong thing. And I have seen horrible extensions, placed and put in, and luckily, even just like a month ago, I had this girl come in, she had just had the extensions put in, but she's like, they're not cut right, she didn't cut them right. Okay, fine, come in. Thank God she did, because whoever did that to her would have destroyed her hair. Luckily, they had only been in for 3 days, but I was able to educate her on I took them out, and I did all this for free. I felt so bad for her, and I actually put. She had 3 packs of whatever. It was equivalent to 3 packs of ours in her hair. I took out an entire pack and was still able to make it look fuller than it had when she came in. And it just again, it went to show me like, wow, like this girl never, I don't know if she's ever been to a certification class, but if she was taught by someone, then that really worries me, and I was like, because I remember her saying, she's like, I'll come back to you, just, if you cut it and I'll let you tighten it. And I'm sure that she would have, but she would have never come back to me had I not fixed her extensions, because it would have torn out her hair, and she'd be like, I'm never doing extensions again. So after that one bad experience, it's really hard to reel it back in and ensure confidence that it's not going to do that to their hair, or that unfortunately it was not put in correctly, and that's why she experienced the damage. And that's the biggest thing that we focus on, of course, is because we want long-lasting extension clients. Another thing that I've really been able to use at extensions, and going into the issues of balding and thinness, a lot of my clients, my bread and butter are what, 40 to 60? The root retouches, the gray covers, all that stuff. Those are the ones with the most money and the most dedication to keeping up on their roots and their hair. But what do we see? We see a lot of thinness. We see a lot of thinness in hair, and that's just over time and hormones, age, all of those factors, that all comes into play. So I've been able to utilize hair extensions like tape-in or I-tip just to fill in issues in just very minimal places. In the front, bobs, those girls have these beautiful thick bobs and don't have much hair to them. Adding literally like 3 to 4 tape-ins on each side, boom. And I call those extension solutions. Because if we look at extensions and just think, who wants 22-inch hair? Who wants, long mermaid hair? It's a very small percentage of clientele. So really to tap into that niche of clientele, it's a lot of energy wasted, because number one, these are young girls. Their boyfriend's probably paying for it. As soon as that guy dumps her, she ain't coming back to get it done. Darn it, gotta get a new sugar daddy to pay for that, whatever. But these women suffering from minor thinning and all of that, oh yeah, they're not going anywhere. It makes them feel young, it makes them feel fresh, and it really gives them, we all get it, the inspo pictures, you're like, yeah, you do that color, but your hair isn't gonna look like that. You just don't have enough of it. Being able to offer some extensions for them to fill in those places where they can't quite achieve, whether it be a really light platinum blonde without their hair falling out, or just, again, that fullness in just certain areas. Those are day in and day out, and that's an easy added $150 to a ticket when I usually just do a retouch. And if these ladies are as consistent as they usually are, which is every 6 to 8 weeks, I can keep a close eye on them. I tighten them maybe every other time. It's incorporated into their already existing appointment, and it maybe adds 10 minutes. Because if you're just doing it on the side, it takes no time to pop those in, but they are hooked and they're not going anywhere. So even at that low level of just doing some minor extension solutions can enhance your ticket $150, $200 every time. Almost every time. And like I said, depending on how often they come in for their gray retouches. So I've been able to really appreciate it, and I do, a lot of my extension clients are just that. And it's wonderful. It really helps. And then also, another thing that it does is something I like to call emotional capital. It's a trust and it's a loyalty that you build with the client. I like to call it emotional capital. And I try to invest in that as much as possible. No one else ever offered them a solution of just applying a couple extensions right here and being able to have that. That's not something that you've offered that no one else has. A solution that they have not been able to find, and they think the only options are wigs, or, there really isn't any other option, product or whatnot. But when you build that emotional capital, they have that extra level of loyalty that you have their best interest. You can come up with solutions that no one else has ever been able to come up with, and you can actually have the hair that they've always wanted because they haven't been able to achieve that blonde, or they haven't been able to grow their hair enough to get the hair that they want. And it's a very simple thing that we can do with extensions. Emotional capital has also come into play a lot with these hair pieces. The reason for thinning hair, obviously vary. It's usually health issues, women getting older, having children. All these are kind of emotional issues. It's stress levels. It's something. But and a lot of women, the ones that don't even have like a lot, they're very low maintenance. They're all this stuff. They think like something like this is like, oh, I'm not that girl. I'm not that girl that has the fake this, that, the next thing. This really kind of restores their femininity when they have that. When I see clients that are losing hair, their spirit, it takes that away, or it reminds them of the fact that they're going through this issue, or growing their hair back from this situation, or they're losing hair because they're under so much stress. When I put one of these on and able to recreate the hair that they once had, or that they're trying to grow back, it's an emotional experience. 8 times out of 10, it gets very emotional. And these pieces are so durable and so long lasting. I rarely have to buy multiple for clients over the years because they're able to wear these daily without a lot of shedding or anything else like that. They don't need to be washed often because the bases itself doesn't absorb oil, and it's so breathable. It really doesn't absorb any of that, so it stays very clean. But when you're able to give your client something that they've been missing for so long, it's a whole real experience. I've definitely had shed my own tears, doing that, but this is something that really kind of reaches a different level. And a lot of stylists aren't able to provide that. And another thing too is a lot of women don't even know that this is a possibility. What I love is, like I said, I have their catalog and it's always sitting on my station, and they have one very specifically just for the top pieces. So as soon as they open it, they realize, oh wow, like there's a lot of people with this issue if they're making whole lines to help with this. So that's been really easy to utilize as a marketing tool, just leaving it on your station. It's a difficult conversation to bring up. You don't want to say, your hair is getting worse and worse, or this is that, But when they see that as an option, they will ask you. They will see you. A lot of times they bring it up because I usually have a few pieces that I'm working on anyway. So they're kind of on mannequin heads and kind of next to my station, and I'm working on them, and it's great because, what are you doing over there? Oh, I'm, doing this. Oh, my cousin, this or that. If you're a stylist right now, you have probably 5-10 people in your head that need one of these, or have been looking for a solution that this can solve. So that's been a really big game changer, and it just kind of takes you to another level with your clientele that is really special, that no other real service has been able to provide that kind of loyalty, because there's very few people that are offering it.
Once you become licensed, you get special price, like discounts, or is the discounts are already there?
No, you'll get exclusive, yeah, you'll get exclusive pricing, definitely.
And are we gonna go through what is in the class?
What is in the kit for the
class?
The other class? I do.
Go through that?
Yeah, I can tell you what's in that. I don't have a whole kit laid out here, but the kit is definitely first and foremost going to come with a practice mannequin head. We also supply practice hair in every single type so that you can take that home and keep practicing on your mannequin head. We'll use some in class, and then in the other we'll provide you with enough to be able to continue practicing even after you leave the class. It definitely comes with, let me just open this catalog to make sure I don't forget anything. Do you have a catalog? Thanks. I just want to make sure I don't forget anything that's included. Of course, we include all of these tools, all these plier sets, and they all kind of have separate purposes for opening, closing, and bonding each extension type. You have one for tape, you have one for individuals, and all of that. So you definitely get all of the pliers. You're going to get some clip-ins so that you can customize clip-in extensions if you choose to. You get some guard guards that work well with the fusion hair extensions to protect the scalp as you melt those keratin tips and blend that in. And then you get also a few options of ways to install the beads. So there's like 3 different methods to get the beads in the hair, and some people prefer to use a stringent plier, and then other people like to use like the loop method and whatnot. So we go over all 3 options. You're gonna find the one that you're most comfortable with. Of course, we have the removers for each different type of extension, some nice leave-in conditioner, which is just a recommendation of something to keep their hair nice and soft. Of course, we have replacement tape. We have it in 2 different styles. The kit comes with a little bit of the pre-cut extension tape, but we also do sell it on the rolls. I love that roll. It's huge, and it has 3, you know how to explain it. But anyway, the one roll has 3 different things, so it'll last me a really long time. So not only does it come with that, it comes with your coloring. So right away, you'll be able to match the colors and know every single color. The catalog is great because it's gonna indicate on every product what style of extension comes in, So on the color ring, it's gonna indicate on the tab what color that comes in. So you'll know, oh, this color comes in weft, tape, and fusion. This one only comes in tape and whatnot. So it allows you for that. It's gonna come with a color ring, a wet brush, because that's what we recommend, you know, to brush out the hair to be most gentle. We'll also include the fusion iron, so that when you do fusion extensions, you already have that iron. We do include some beads in different sizes, so you have an idea of what you're most comfortable to use. And of course, your bag. Pretty much everything that you're going, you know, to need to get started in that. And then also, of course, the day of the class, the hair is offered to you at a discount as well if you'd like to take some home. I would really strongly encourage you to have someone keep in mind of who maybe you could go home and do extensions on, whether it be a cousin, a client, a guinea pig. So, you know, really kind of think about that before the class, because you're gonna wanna call them up ASAP, and we'll be able to source the hair right away so you can get home and practice in that. I'm also absolutely available to everyone that takes my class as well. I'm local and I'm 1 phone call away. I don't want you to question anything and have any kind of hesitation on doing this. So if you can't get an answer from Hair Couture, when you call the office, then they'll direct it to me, and I can help you with any kind of technical question, whether it be about the hair pieces or even just matching the color. So is that something we need to go over again, or we need kind of to brush up on, or you didn't understand something in the class? I'm still always available to you on after, just so that to make sure that you are confident enough to do it as well. Any other questions?
Sounds like do you guys have your own products, your own glues, and alcohols and everything like that?
Yes, we'll have our own scalp protectors, our own adhesives, removers, and aftercare products as well. Yeah.
Stop shop.
It is. That's.
Do you have a class yet?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're taking down the names and numbers. We're finalizing some dates.
Okay.
So we're taking information. We also offer in-salon classes or in-school classes. If there's enough people, but again, we do have training facilities in the Whittier Santa Fe Springs area that are pretty local to all. But of course, we'll definitely go wherever we are needed to teach a group. Anything else?
So if you were to want to the school, I'm an educator at a school.
Wonderful. Which one?
Newberry.
Oh, okay.
Granada Hills.
Where is it?
Granada Hills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess something around.
Yeah.
But do you guys charge for the education to bring you into the school? Or
Well,
company pays?
I'll definitely be showing up there probably with Jazz very soon.
Okay.
Because we're definitely going over that, and we can give an overview similar to